What the heck is short form video? Are they 30 seconds? No, 60 seconds. Wait a minute. Is it 90 seconds or 3 minutes or 10 minutes? What the heck? I don't get it. It's so hard to keep up with all of these newfangled reels and shorts. And today I'm going to hopefully take some of the confusion out of all of this. Hi, I'm Coach MonaG, and today, welcome to Social Minutes with Mona. It can be so confusing. You know, everybody's saying you got to do reels, you need to do stories, you need to do video. And then they say that short form video is really like the bomb. That's what you really need to be doing. So the question is, what are these things? What platform has what type, or what are they called? How long are they? And then what's this thing about disappearing after 24 hours? Why do you want to even take the time to do something that's going to just disappear after 24 hours? Well, let's get to it, shall we? Okay, so short form video is the hottest thing going right now, no doubt. And if you've ever seen TikTok, then that is the classic illustration of what short form video is. When they first came out, they were like 30 seconds long. And then TikTok took it to 60 seconds, and then 90 seconds, and then 3 minutes. Is that still short form? And then now they're doing 10 minutes? That's really not short form, is it? Well, but they think that viewers want longer time on these reels, or excuse me, TikToks. So that's what they're doing. Now, because they are so wildly popular, Facebook decided, well, we need to do that. We need to take away that market from TikTok because we want viewers to stay on the platforms Facebook and Instagram. So the first thing that happened was Instagram introduced Instagram Reels. That's REELS, Instagram Reels. Then Facebook decided, well, those are going really good, so we're going to do them too. Everybody started getting on the bandwagon. For a short period of time, Twitter had its own version of short form videos, and YouTube has their version still, and their version is called YouTube Shorts. Now, the difference between a reel and a story, because stories are short form video as well, typically 15 to 30 seconds, okay? So now that we have discussed what it is, a reel, a TikTok, a YouTube short, those are all one and the same. It just varies by which platform you're viewing them on. How long they last depends, again, on which platform you're viewing them on. Instagram Reels initially were 30 seconds, and then they went to 60 seconds. And currently, as of this date, which is July the 16th, 2022, they can go as long as 90 seconds. Now, mind you, that could change in a flash because social media changes at the speed of light. So that's true for today, but it may not be true for tomorrow. Just keeping it real, y'all. All right, now, stories in comparison to reels are what they call ephemeral or ephemeral content, which means they disappear after 24 hours. Because they disappear after 24 hours, people rush to look at them right away because they don't know if that story has been up for 23 hours and 55 seconds and it's going to expire in 5 seconds, or if it just got posted and they've got 23 hours and 55 seconds to watch it. That's called FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. When you land on Facebook, when you land on Instagram, the very first thing that you see up at the top are stories. On Facebook, they are vertical and they're right at the very top of the feed. On Instagram, they're circular, again, right at the top of the feed. The more stories that you have, the closer you are to the front of the line for your followers to see. So that means the more stories that you do on a regular basis, the more that you are going to be at the front of the line when your followers go to view stories. Now, the difference between stories and reels, another difference besides one is ephemeral and one can last forever. You can, on Instagram, you can click a little button, not click a button, but turn on a slider, click on the slider, and you can actually post it also to your gallery. So it lives there forever. That's really where your followers are going to see mostly your reels, okay? But because they go into the Reels Explore page, that's the golden ticket. Everybody that views Reels has an opportunity to see your Reels because Instagram is pushing them out there and Facebook is pushing them out there, trying to usurp that market. Remember, they want to take over TikTok's viewership. So therefore, if you click that toggle, that little toggle on, then they live on your gallery forever. And then they also are in the Explore page where people that don't follow you can discover you. That's where these things are like going viral. But please note that that shouldn't be your intention to go viral. If you're a business owner, an entrepreneur using Reels for your business, you really want the people that are most likely going to be your potential clients, your ideal clients. Those are the people that it's most important for them to see and like. So chances are, if you have a viral video, that doesn't mean that you're going to make a lot of money. It doesn't mean that you're going to gain a lot of followers like instantly that are going to purchase from you. You may gain some followers pretty instantly, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's your ideal client and they're going to purchase from you. All right. So we have Reels that can last forever on your gallery, on your profile. And then they can also be in the Explore page. Stories, ephemeral content. They disappear after 24 hours, but Instagram also gives you the opportunity to save them as a highlight. The highlights are stories that used to be live, but 24 hours went by and they expired. But while they were live, you hit a little button that says save as highlight. And that created a highlight category, which you can name. So you could have food category, and you can have social media category, and you can have pets category. You can have any type of category and pretty much as many as you want. But you want to really try, and it's really kind of hard to explain, but I use stories to invite people into my life, behind the scenes, behind the curtain, so there I'm more likely to share what I had for dinner. My husband's a chef, so I love to share his creations and in stories. And we also spend a great deal of time in our backyard. That's our sanctuary. So I have a stories highlight that says my sanctuary, and it's pictures of our birds and the squirrels and the wildlife that we get to partake in every day here at the Giordano retreat, which is what we call our house. So the stories can live beyond 24 hours if you save them as a highlight. And if you do that, you can only do that while they are live, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Now, YouTube Shorts are basically the same thing. They're short form video that you can embellish, and this goes for all of them: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. You add stickers to embellish them. You add hashtags. You add music. There's so many different ways that you can embellish these to make them more interesting, because the goal, people are on their phones and they're scrolling at 50 miles an hour. So when you have a story, they want to go see it first. So they check those out. On Reels, it is what's going on that's going to get them to stop the scroll. Statistically, you have 3 seconds to get them to stop that scroll, or it doesn't matter how good your reel is, they're not going to see it. Same thing goes for regular posts, static posts, videos, etc. So when you're doing them, you want to come out of the gate with what you're going to be telling them, showing them, teaching them, etc. Also, the music is going to, it's kind of irrelevant to many because a lot of people watch them instead of listening to them. So they may be in a store or, a doctor's office, and they don't have the sound on their phone. So adding captions to those, excuse me, is a really great idea, because they don't know what you're going to be doing it on if all they see is, right? They need to see that caption that's telling them what they're going to see right out of the gate. Today, we're talking about reels and stories on Instagram. Then you go into the, hi, I'm Coach MonaG, and today we're going to blah, blah, blah. Okay. But right out of the gate in that first 3 seconds is when you tell them on TikToks, well, not so much on TikToks, but on stories and on reels, why they should stop the scroll and watch you. Okay. Now, I hope that that clears up the difference between the platforms and the difference between stories and reels. Now, the next thing is, how long is short form? Well, I think I alluded to that earlier in this live when I said, that they can be 30 seconds or 60 seconds or 90 seconds if you're on Instagram and Facebook. But if you're on TikTok, then they can be up to 3 minutes and now even up to 10 minutes. But again, I don't see how 10 minutes is considered short form, but it doesn't matter what I think. Does that help? It's so confusing. Now, here's something that I want to mention. If you are a new entrepreneur, a new business, or you're trying to build your following, then reels are absolutely the way to go. You're not too old. You don't have to do synchronized dancing and lip syncing. You can do instructional tutorials, but keep them interesting, short and sweet. Okay. You can do the timed text where you're pointing and the text comes up and then it disappears. There's so many creative things that you can do as a business owner. If you're a product-based business, you can actually have reels showing how your products are being manufactured, meeting your staff, etc. So there's just, you get creative. And the way that you get those creative ideas is by watching them. And then when you find one that you like and you think, oh, that would work good for my business, you save it. And then you can go back to it later to practice making it. And then when you feel comfortable, you can put it live, publish it, put it out there for the world to see. And literally, I mean for the world to see. Okay. Unlike stories, again, which mostly your followers are viewing, reels are out there. That's how you can gain a following. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean, because you have a viral reel, that you're going to have all these followers that are going to spend money with you. So make sure that your content is good and that it speaks to your ideal client. Here's an example. I did a reel a few months back, probably 5 months back by now. And it was very funny. It was an audio and it said this: my mind is like an internet browser. I have 19 tabs, 3 of them are frozen, and I don't know where the music is coming from. Now, it was funny. It was entertaining. It wasn't my voice. And anyone that knows me knows it wasn't my voice, but it could have been, because that's exactly what my ideal client would say. They could relate to that, and therefore it got a lot of views. People can relate to that. So you always want to try and keep them on reels related to your industry in some form or fashion. Now, stories, on the other hand, that's a way, again, behind the scenes, inviting people into your life to get to know you and like you and trust you. So that's kind of the difference. The amount of time, they say these days that the shorter, the better. So I don't know why they keep getting longer and longer, right? I guess people want to be able to do the whole dance, the whole 5-minute dance, instead of just, 60 seconds of it. But most people, when they want to see long form content, head over to YouTube, because people there expect to see teachings and trainings, and they expect those videos to be longer than what you're going to be seeing in a short or a reel or a story or anything like that. Now, I want to go back to stories for just a second, and then I'm pretty much out of time, so I'll be wrapping it up. But stories, it's not too much for you to have stories up a minimum of 3 times a day. Why? Remember, I said that the more of them you do, the more that you stay up towards the front of the line for your followers to see them. They see that you have a story up and they rush to go check it out again, because they don't know how long it's going to be there before it expires or disappears. So yeah, I totally lost my train of thought there, but that's nothing new. All right. It's not too much to do a minimum of 3 or more per day. Mind you, now these stories are really short form. We're talking 15 seconds, and they can roll over up to a minute, but the actual story itself is 15 seconds long. So how about you pop on in the morning with your cup of coffee and you say, hey, everybody, here I am at the Clearwater Starbucks, and it's going to be a busy day. I'm headed to a conference. So come back at noon and let me tell you what happened at that conference. That's just an idea of something that you could do really short, your face. People want to see your face, not other people's faces and logos and all that kind of stuff, because we're emotional creatures. We respond to emotionally. So we want to see people's faces. Now, if you don't want to be doing live video, have your picture up on that story and embellish it with words. You can actually even do voiceovers where you can have a still image, but have your voice. I don't think that works on stories, but I know that it works on reels. So here's the moral of the story. Experiment, have fun with it. People get so frustrated and overwhelmed with social media, and I get that. I mean, that's how I started out with this whole being a social media coach, is because of my frustration and my pain, my overwhelm, that I just couldn't learn it. People spoke too fast and I didn't get it, or they used words that were over my head that I didn't understand, like CTAs and SEO and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So now I go, I hold people by the hand and I teach them step by step by step how to do social media, to create their cover banners and to maximize their profiles and their bios and on, how to do posting, how to do Canva. But I go slowly at your speed. So I meet you where you are. If you're total beginner, that's where we start. If you're intermediate, then I know I can use some of those terms, but still I go at your speed. Social media doesn't have to be frustrating. And what I teach all of my clients is twofold. Number one, the end goal is for you to make so much money doing what you do, your expertise, so that you can hire a social media manager eventually, okay, and a virtual assistant to do the other stuff. So you can walk in your line of genius and not be bogged down by having to create the content and do the filing and all of those, you know, going through the email boxes, all of those things that are very, very important. But again, your time is valuable when you're doing what you do, not when you're sitting behind a computer doing administrative tasks. So it's as simple as that. And again, I lost my train of thought. It's just that kind of day. I'm going to wrap it up there because I'm at 12:21 and I try to keep these short and actionable. So I hope that's been of value to you today, understanding the difference between stories, reels, and shorts, how long they can be, how long they last, if they disappear or don't disappear, how to save them as a highlight. A lot of material in a short period of time. But I'm here for you if you need me. Just send me a direct message and let's set up a complimentary discovery session where I spend 45 minutes with you face-to-face on Zoom and take a look at your social media and hear your goals. That is a CTA, a call to action. If you have an idea for a topic that you would like to have covered on Social Minutes with Mona, reach out in a direct message and let me know. And if I use your topic, I'll be sure to mention you during the live broadcast. and tag you in all of the social media promos where I'm trying to get people to come to the Social Minutes with Mona lives on Thursdays at noon. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been fast and furious as always. I didn't have too many tech problems today, which is a real plus. I love that, because the only thing in technology that you can count on is that you can't count on anything. Until next time, everybody, may God richly bless you.